So I've been seeing on Twitter, on YouTube, all different types of places, people saying we're going to finish 3-13. Man, hell nah. The preseason is over, and it's finally week 1, a time where all fans of teams with losing records last year, we had our highest point of optimism. Everybody feel like that draft pick from a couple years ago gonna just take a couple steps forward. That addition y'all made in the coaching staff, oh, that's gonna move the needle. And people who are fans of all the good teams sit back and laugh at our optimism. Well, guess what? As of today, we all undefeated. This is the annual video where I give my outlook on my lifelong team, the Cincinnati Bengals. And by lifelong team, I mean since like 8th grade. So I'm actually creeping up on 20 years. I'm getting pretty close. In that entire time period, we have never won a playoff game. So, you know, that's where I'm at with it. Anyway, this is pretty much a rant on what I think is going to happen in the upcoming season with a record prediction baked into it. Now, I'm going to give y'all some Madden 20 gameplay in the background. That way you ain't got to just look at me the whole time as I struggle to talk. Kick back, relax, and y'all already know what time it is, baby. Chew the wang.
Yeah, you'll never know quitter. Cause I'ma go get it.
Feel that? That is a breath of fresh air being breathed directly into the Bengals organization. Or at least that's how we felt when we fired Marvin Lewis and hired Zach Taylor. But then, OTAs, we lose our first round pick for the entire season. Okay, that hurt. First day of training camp, we lose AJ Green until at least week 4. All right. At that point, everybody immediately wrote us off. And, you know, as a Bengals fan, we couldn't help but feel like, yeah, there it is. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, this is our reality. We can't change it. We just got to move forward. So here's what we're looking at. Our team hasn't changed a ton. The biggest thing is obviously the new coaching staff. So a lot of the things that I'm excited or optimistic about have to do directly with coaching. Okay, so the new coaching staff for us represents the first season in well over a decade without Marvin Lewis at the helm. And that opens up a world of possibilities. I mean, like I always say before I kind of bash him, Marvin Lewis did a lot for the Cincinnati Bengals organization, but you know, I can't ignore what I'm looking at. So I just got to keep it a buck, okay? Marvin had many flaws as a coach. 2 of the biggest flaws, in my opinion, were his clock management abilities, which were terrible, and his second half adjustments, which were pretty much non-existent. Dude would just blow timeouts in the third quarter as if nothing else mattered, and it was hella frustrating. Like, what did we even talk about at halftime? It's like he'd go into halftime, say nothing to the team, and then we start the third quarter, he called all the timeouts to say what he should have said in halftime. He'd also stunt rookies' growth by basically redshirting them and slowing their development down to a crawl, demolishing their confidence, and then he'd have his mind made up on who was gonna play before training camp would even start. He based everything on seniority and not actual ability and performance, which is extremely frustrating. It's almost as if he didn't realize that you gotta pay the rookie in the first year. So you're basically just blowing a year of this guy under contract. It's like he didn't understand that or something. Zach Taylor, our new head coach, has already proven that he's better than Marvin Lewis in that area. We'll have to wait and see about the clock management stuff and the second half adjustments and all that stuff. I think he's gonna be better in that stuff too. I'm pretty sure about it, but we haven't seen it, so okay. But as far as the rookies are concerned, he's already shown a willingness to just play the best players, bro. It don't matter how long they've been there. It don't matter if it's a vet or a rookie. None of it matters. Whoever performed the best, put them on the field. And like I said earlier, with AJ Green being down in a pretty talented wide receiver room, Zach Taylor has decided to start an undrafted rookie in AJ's spot, okay? Why? Because all he did was make plays throughout training camp and throughout the preseason. He outperformed everybody else and he didn't get injured, so boom, he's the starter. That just makes common sense and it's a breath of fresh air. Also, Zach Taylor is smart and not just stuck in his ways. He came in, dropped his ego, called John Ross on the phone. John Ross, a receiver who Marvin Lewis tried his best to ruin. Zach comes in, he calls him, he lets him know, listen bro, You're going to be a big part of the offense. I got your back, and you're going to have the opportunity to run every route because I know you're a complete receiver. You're not just a deep threat. I mean, hell, John Ross had like 7 red zone touchdowns last year. Okay? A lot of people don't realize that, but 7. That's insane. And if not all of those 7, the majority of them was in the red zone. So this dude can use his speed and quickness in short bursts as well. So if he can do that in the red zone, obviously he can do it anywhere on the field when things are a lot less congested. Anyway, Zach comes in, calls him up, and he immediately starts to rebuild John Ross's confidence. Immediately. A good coach knows that you don't deal with every player the same way, and when you have a player who's been beat down a little bit mentally, a good coach knows how to bring that guy back in. You know, he's a very young receiver. He's been labeled a bust, ran the fastest time in a 40-yard dash, and ain't really did nothing since. Obviously, this is weighing heavily on him. Don't make it worse. Make it better. Build him back up. Get his morale back up. And that's what Zach Taylor has been doing since day one. And that's why I feel really good about John Ross this year. Now, I initially, like when I first found out about these phone calls, like, I don't know, whenever like OTA started, I was immediately picking John Ross for a breakout season, but then he injures his hamstring. And so we haven't seen him in the preseason at all. So, you know, that's kind of scary, but he is healthy now. He's practicing. He's running full speed in practice. And from what everybody else is saying, he's been going to another gear in practice. Haven't had any pain, any setbacks in their hamstring. So, cool. John Ross, man, he's going to shock a lot of people this year. Zach Taylor going to get him involved on screens, drag routes, slants, comeback routes, curl routes, not just a go, a 9, a fade, you know what I'm saying? Not the same route every single time. And I feel good about it, man. And then when he opened that up, now that 9 route is going to be there a lot more often. Tyler Boyd, completely slept on, but 1,000-yard receiver from last year. He's back. He's better than ever playing in a new offense. I feel good about it. Tyler Eifert is healthy for now. We'll see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how long he can stay healthy. If he could play like 12 games this year, like, you know what I'm saying, and actually finish the season. Like if he missed some games, like miss like in the middle, you feel me? Don't just be out for the season. Like if he could do that, that's gonna make a huge difference for our team, man. Because when he's out there, dude, go hard. You know what I'm saying? Joe Mixon, bordering on elite, and I feel bad because I think we've held Joe Mixon back. I think he would already be considered an elite running back if he was playing on a better team behind a decent offensive line. Dude has every skill you want from a running back. He's quick, he's fast, he could catch, he'll run you over, he'll juke you. Like, he can do it all. And I forgot who that was. I think it was Josh Norman who he like stiff armed like off the field this preseason. He only had like 3 snaps because Zach Taylor was just saving him, but when he was out there, you knew it. Dude is unbelievably explosive. Now, our problem areas on offense, offensive line, quarterback, okay? Our O-line isn't good. Ain't no sugarcoating it. Our O-line ain't good. You feel me? At least on paper, all right? It's going to be one of the main reasons that we struggle this year in the games that we do struggle. Speaking of struggle, that first week versus Seattle, in Seattle, Jadeveon Clowney, like, you know, it's going to be rough. I'm not going to lie. It might be a rough start to the season, but do not panic, Bengals fans. All right? Do not panic. Anyway, the offensive line, not great on paper. They actually look decent in the preseason. Like the first team O-line, other than I think that was the Redskins game where we had all those penalties. Other than that game, like they look pretty good. You know, Zach Taylor and the squad kind of have Frankenstein aligned together. So we'll see, man. We'll see what it looks like. Would have been a lot better if Jonah Williams was out there, but he isn't, you know. Now, to the quarterback, Andy Dalton, average QB, great leader, decent arm, okay accuracy, gets the ball out quick, and a stand-up guy, okay? I know Zach Taylor, unlike the previous regime, has been tailoring things, no pun intended, to fit Andy's strengths, which he definitely has a lot of strengths. There's plenty of things that he's good at. I think there's a chance that our new offense can push Andy to have one of his best years as a pro. If not, and he still can't convert on third down and still misses all the potentially game-changing throws, then cool. It'll be time to move on either midway through this season or next season. We'll see how it goes. Definitely the last hurrah for Andy. Maybe Marvin Lewis was holding him back. Maybe he's just not that guy. Time to find out. Our defense, super trash last year, man. One of the worst defenses in the league. And this year, the thing that scares me the most, linebackers. These dudes on paper, not good, okay? And we only kept like 4, didn't trade for any, didn't sign any in free agency. So I don't know what's going on with the linebackers, man. In the middle of our defense, it's just pretty much hollow. You know, it's like a hole right there in the middle. I don't know what they're going to do to address that. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, but we'll see, man. We'll have to just see. It's definitely the scariest thing and the weakest point of the entire team, in my opinion. Weaker than the offensive line, much weaker than the quarterback. You know, Andy's at least reliable. I don't have a clue what we're going to get from this linebacker core. Our D-line is pretty damn good. I mean, Geno Atkins, Carl Lawson, Carlos Dunlap, Sam Hubbard. I mean, we strayed on the D-line. The secondary is okay. William Jackson is a beast. Jesse Bates is a dog. Sean Williams is really good at some things, but he does make a lot of mistakes in coverage. And Drake Kirkpatrick never lived up to the hype and probably has the worst hands of any DB that I've ever seen. This dude can actually cover pretty well, but his ball skills are so porous that he often gives up big plays despite being in good position. So, you know, that is what that is. Now, let's address the 3-game nonsense. First off, winning 3 games would be great. All right, we'd have a high draft pick like we never have. And, you know, we can go in, get one of these top quarterbacks and keep it moving, okay? But, and I'm saying this non-emotionally, we're too good. We're too good to win 3 games. Like, we'd have to tank on purpose or just get attacked by the injury bug even more. I mean, if players just start getting injured like crazy or something like that, you know, anything could happen. But assuming relative health, okay? Assuming relative health beyond the injuries that we already have, there's just no way we're going to win 3 games. Last year, we won 6 games, okay? AJ Green missed 7 games last year. This year, he's only scheduled to miss 3, right? So he's going to play 4 more games, ideally, than he played last year, okay? AJ healthy for 4 more games. I have to assume that the win total at the very least stays the same, if not goes up. Also last year, Andy Dalton missed 5 games. We had to start Jeff Driscoll for 5 games last year. That was not the move, okay? This year, I got confidence in Ryan Finley as a backup, and maybe even at some point as a starter. I really like Ryan Finley, okay? And I really do want to see what he can actually do in the real game, because I think he's better than most people think. With that said, for now, of course, we rocking with Andy. Also last year, check out this stat, bro. In games decided by 8 points or less, okay? We were 2-5. 2-5 in close games. The easiest thing for me to point at is the thing that we got rid of. If you had 7 close games and only won 2 of them, come on, bro. What I talk about at the beginning, Marvin Lewis, poor clock management, poor attention to detail, a lack of second half adjustments, like those things directly impact that 2-5 record in close games. This year, like I've been saying this whole time, I think Zach Taylor is going to be better. He'll be better than 2-5 in close games. If we win 1 more, 2 more of those games, boom, that's going to raise our win total. Or at the very least, not let it drop. You feel what I'm saying? And we're usually a pretty competitive team. The Bengals have always had talent. This year, I don't think this is one of our most talented teams. Like, we've had more talented teams in the past for sure, and I would have loved to see what Zach Taylor could have done with those teams. But this team still isn't nearly as bad as people seem to think that we are. With that said, here is my prediction. All right, it's nothing crazy. 500. I think we'll go 8-8. Not great, not terrible. Okay, now if we go 8-8, a lot of people will say the Bengals still going 8-8, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, but if we go 8-8 this year, think about it. We're going 8-8 while missing our first round draft pick, with our number 1 receiver being down for several games, with our offensive line being patched together, and the linebacking core still under construction. All right, well, the linebacking core and the offensive line are still under construction. Okay, not an ideal situation for Zach Taylor to come in. So if we go 8-8 this year with all of that stuff going on, I'm very, very hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. I don't think we're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. That's fine. right? Let's go 8-8. I can live with it. Next year we get Jonah Williams back, plus another first round pick, maybe another offensive lineman, maybe a beast. Maybe next year we bring in 2 first round offensive linemen with Jonah coming back and then whoever we pick next year, right? That will instantly, our offense will instantly jump up like 3 more games. You feel what I'm saying? We'll have an opportunity to shore up that linebacking core a little bit more. 3 wins is laughable. Now, I wouldn't be shocked with anything between 6 to 9 wins, but I'm gonna put my money on 8. I don't think we're gonna hit a home run this year, but we damn sure ain't about to strike out either. That's all I got for y'all today. Thanks again to Sports Betting Now for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to check out their championship tracker. My name is FlemLo Raps. I'm gonna let you next time, fellas. 1.